done a lot for survivors. And his name is
We John Kong. Let's cue our video.
Okay.
He founded an LGBT website, Pure Congress, for which he hosted and directed more than 50 half-hour episodes. He is also an organizing member of the Beijing Pure Film Festival and a board member of the Beijing LGBT Center.
We understand he's not able to join us here tonight, so there's a video clip. Yeah. On the back.
Hello everyone, this is Xiaozhang from Beijing. I'm sorry to be there with you guys tonight, but I'm really honored to receive these awards. I'm also really glad this award is raising LGBT issues in Asia and also bring all activists from different parts of Asia together to fight for LGBT rights. And thank you guys so much. And I wish you all have a good night tonight. With Pink Awards celebrating the concert Asia.
Yeah, we received the award on behalf and we took a flight to Beijing. So off to Beijing I go.
Oh, thank you guys for surviving. I know it's hot. I see the fans. Thank you guys. We have a small little story here. 7 years ago, we had a chance encounter between the owner, or sorry, the associate director of Element Magazine, and at the time, a young singer, I believe a musician, who was traveling to Shanghai, and they met on Gaydar. This is an age before we had moved, before we had Grindr. And as cliche as people meeting online may sound, there was a friendship, and this 20-year-old boy, yes, became Element Magazine's associate publisher, and we have the young Italian man here with us tonight, an openly gay singer-songwriter who has become quite prominent in Italy. So let's welcome to the stage Paolo Ferrarini. Can we provide a stand? No one taught me how to work this thing, but hey.
Well, anyway, stories like this one that we just heard are actually the reason why I love Asia so much, and that's the reason why I came back as often as I can to Asia. Because here, I don't know why, but things happen for some reason. And for example, when I came here this time to this show, I was just, again, browsing dating sites and things like that. And within 24 hours, I managed to meet somebody who turned out to be a local, fantastic, and very awesome violin player who's going to accompany me tonight for my show here. Welcome, Alvin. And if you don't faint, I think you should be able to perform. I'm actually very jealous of you, Asian, at the moment, because there's so much excitement and so many things happening at a very rapid speed here, politically and socially. We don't get that so much in Europe. So I sometimes like to be Asian myself, I have to say. But then again, we are celebrating diversity, so thanks. I can just think of myself as a different kind of Asian. Let's call me a Caucasian.
Caucasian. I think it's a cool one too.
Yeah, I don't know. planning to stand, but if there's a chair, I can sit down. I can't just sitting there, so just give me a chair. Okay, the first song I'm going to play anyway, it's for my new album, and it's called Try, and it's a song about trying to remain young in a world like the gay world, where being young and gorgeous is everything really, and I don't think it should really be that way necessarily. And this is going to be a video conference.
I shall
you. The next song I want to bring to you is also from an album, and it's called Coming Out. And it's not just a song about coming out as a gay person. It's a very special song for me because it's actual, like the words and the music with which I came out to myself when it was about time to complete my coming out. So I hope you enjoy this. It's entire, but I did some translation in English for you to follow.
back maybe help us with the chair on stage? One falls off the stage like I almost did. And we'd like to call our next two presenters on stage. We have two this time, Miss Inez Negron, and we have Miss Trish Reed-Smith from Gay Star News. So we have two presenters. Can we have them both on stage? Hello. It's a little bit low, but speak up.
Good evening, everybody. I'm a messenger tonight for an hour. We always say don't shoot the messenger, but you're allowed to shoot me because this is my house and it's bloody hot. And I'm so embarrassed, you have no idea. This place is my baby, and as a baby, it's just like, it's a new thing. So I didn't know, I don't have enough aircon. And tomorrow I will call my contractor and... I know all of you already look good, but you will have lost a few pounds tonight, thank you.
You're welcome.
So just to say, this is my home, my baby. I just moved here 3 years ago. I have been working with Miss Universe and I'm Jimon for many, many years. And my experience is creating beautiful women and sending them to Los Angeles to become an actress or to become a top model or to become a Miss Universe. So I succeeded a few times, and now I came to Singapore, and I'm not interested in girls who have long legs, long arms, long neck, like the two girls we saw on the stage, who actually work with me. I'm so fed up with these beautiful girls. I decided to look for the ones that were not fortunate like them, like me, basically, and try to help them to enjoy the catwalk, teach them how to do hair and makeup. So this is my mission. And we also teach little girls and little boys who like to work on high heels on this catwalk as well. So this is called Dream Factory because I love to create dreams, and this is why I chose this name. Tonight I'm hosting this event because, not because I am a gay woman, because maybe I am, I don't know yet. So we never know. But I kissed a girl and I liked it, yeah. But I have, I'm very fortunate, I have a very hot, tall Hawaiian husband. And this morning I was having a coffee with him when everybody was working preparing the place, and we had a coffee together, walked hand in hand in the street, and kissed in the middle of the department store, and I realized how lucky I am to be able to expose my love, and how many of my friends who have to live basically hiding because they cannot. I know so many people gay in Singapore. I think this is the biggest, and lesbian girls, because my guard, I never know if I can call her she or he or it, like you said, because they are everywhere. You have ever seen somebody holding a hand during the day in Singapore? No. And I think this is very, very disturbing to me. And I hope things will change. My country, I'm French, already agree on gay marriage, and I'm very proud of it. And I have 3 boys. Maybe they will be gay, I don't know yet, but that will never be an issue with me and my husband, and I think everybody should be. And the last thing I want to say is that I also have adopted 17 children in Cambodia 2 years ago, and they're all mentally handicapped. When I say children, it's because they have the mental of 5 years old, but they're all about 20. And 2 of my children, we found them on the rubbish, because they dig on the rubbish, they eat from it, and they make a living like this. And we took them because not only they are meant to be retarded, most of them, but they are homosexual. And every night they were getting raped and they thought it was normal. And I was asked to take them and to give them a home and pay for their food and their life. And I did. I opened my heart to them. So I'm proud to be the mother of mentally handicapped and homosexual people.
I'm very inspired actually by that. If there were more allies who would do such things for us all, I think that the world would be a much better place. So thank you very much. Just to say as well, I've been inspired by so many people in the room. I've been, I can't remember the last time I was at an event where I shook so many amazing people's hands before I even started the event itself. So there's always a danger with that. But if you're around inspirational people, you might become a better person. Before that can possibly happen to me, I'm going to quickly cut on and make a presentation. Gay Star News is the title that I work for and the editor of that. We have readers, about 2 million readers in about 204 countries around the world, as some of you might know. And one of the things we cover with our global reporting team a lot of is business issues. And the corporate world, particularly in Asia, seems to be making great strides in supporting the LGBTQIA community here. And one of those companies, which seems to be particularly authentic in doing so, and supports, for example, 1.5, Singapore Pink Dots, and Ubachaga here in this country as well, is the winner of the next award, and that is Barclays.
In fundraising and other activities in LGBT communities across Asia, including sponsorship of Hong Kong Pride and Singapore's Pink Dot, and organizing a fundraising event for Ubachaga Singapore LGBT Affirmative Counseling and Support Service.
Thank you very much for this. I'm so excited and honored to be here and inspired by today's event. Excuse me. I just want to say that I'm here to accept the award on behalf of Barclays. We actually have an employee network called Spectrum, which I'm the steering committee. Really, the person that should have been here tonight is Michael Ornzak, who is our fearless leader and the head of our Excellent Singapore chapter, but he's actually on his honeymoon. He got married over the Christmas holidays. He's enjoying his honeymoon, so what a fantastic time that we're moving into where we can actually talk about getting married. And so I just wanted to thank Pilot Magazine for putting such a fabulous event together. It's such a wonderful occasion where the community, both activists as well as corporate engaged people are here all together. I actually like to particularly thank Hero who supported, actually was, I understand, instrumental in Barclays winning this award. So thank you very much, Hero. I also wanted to thank our community partners, without which we really couldn't do what we think is important. That is, as mentioned, we in Singapore work very closely with Ubachaga as well as Pink Dot. We've collaborated and worked very closely together for the last couple of years, and we really look forward to working together for many, many years to come. This is really not about winning any awards. but it is about celebration and recognizing the good work and achievements that's happening within the LGBT space. And I think this is so important that we raise the visibility and the transparency and have this dialogue in our communities, especially in Asia, where I think the focus and attention around LGBT issues have been, let's say, lacking, or at least could be better. So really, really, really thank you on the magazine for putting this occasion together and having the vision of creating this forum, of this celebration of such important work. And we all do this because it is really the right thing to do, and it's very, very important for all of us. So thanks once again, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening.
And we'd like to call our next presenter, two presenters, Ms. Victoria Su from TAPCR and Ms. Prayema Mati, President of Human Rights Group Martha.
Hello everyone, thank you for inviting me, Element, to make this presentation. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy on behalf of Marwa, a human rights organization, to support this community that I think is growing and is really making an impression in Singapore. More importantly, I think in this case, companies. We always feel that companies play a very big role because everyone needs to work. Everyone needs to feel accepted at the workplace. To have diversity and inclusion as a fundamental policy is not a favor thing. It is a basic right. It is the first layer in the principles. And this company has ensured that it is part of its policy to make sure that diversity and inclusion is part of its policy. Then it has gone one or two steps further. It has created a network that is called Gayless, I believe, for the gay community within the company, which is quite extraordinary. And then the other thing that they have also done, there's a campaign to love each other. I think this company is showing the way for all of us as to how a company ought to treat anybody and everybody as equal and should enjoy equity. On top of that, this company has also been supportive of the Pink Dot and all that the sponsorship, etc. So with that, can you please put your hands together to say a very big thank you to a company that also keeps us connected, Google.
Legalized love to encourage Googlers around the world to bring their full selves to work. Google was the first corporate sponsor of TikTok in Singapore and the first company to attend Taiwan Pride. We also take part in the Sydney Mardi Gras and Tokyo Pride.
We really believe in diversity and inclusion in the workplace, and in this case, we want to encourage all our LGBT Googlers, who are known as Googlers, to bring their whole selves to work. So thank you for the recognition, and we hope to continue to do what we can for all our neighbors around the world. Thank you.
We'd now like to bring to the stage to present the next award, Mr. Clarence Chow. Good evening, everybody. Every single one of you, almost every single one of you, either works for somebody or has people working for you. And almost all of us I, one way or another, employ or own companies. And it's just so fundamental that while, laws may exist, societal structures may exist, the reality is a large part of your and my working life is spent in the office. And if there's one place that a difference can be made, it is in the office. And if there are one bunch of people who can really, really make a difference, it is the corporations we work for. In 2008, and I'll tell you why diversity is so important. In 2008, I was working with a financial institution owned by one of the governments in this region. And someone kind of wrote an email to the CEO. And HR came to me and said, have you ever Googled your name? And I'm like, no. I'm a bit narcissistic, but not bad. And so I did, and then, oh my God, and you see my name there. And then I went to the CEO and I said, I thought this is not an issue. And she looked me in the eye and she said this to me, and it's, it's one of the best things someone's ever said to me. And she said, I decided a long, long time ago that I will not care about the color of someone's eye or the color of their skin. And I don't see why this is any different. And that just transformed my time in that company. And, while I was outed, the reality is that, then everybody started knowing about it. And I still remember one Valentine's Day, and I had to work late. And my boss's secretary said, okay, Clarence, I'm going to organize your Valentine's Day dinner. Let me set it up. You just go get the work done. And my partner and I had a really, really good birthday dinner. Right, so companies are so important in the things that we experience, in the spaces that we experience. And I'll tell you another reason why diversity is important. There's a research study that shows that employee satisfaction globally is about 14% or thereabouts a few years ago. But there's also another study that demonstrates that where the employer or the boss or the superior is a gay person, staff satisfaction rates can range from 35 to 60%. Have you thought about that? You're a great supervisor if you're a gay person. and the reason is because you and I have been through so much. We've had to adapt, we've had to be creative, and we've had to be intuitive. And we bring those skills to the workplace. And so therefore it is so important that companies help people like you and me become comfortable with who we are, because when we are, we shine, and the people who we work with shine as well. So I'm very, very honored today to just be here to be able to present the award to a company who I think never gave me a job. who I think is one of the most innovative companies in the world, and they are at the forefront of financial innovation. And they are also at the forefront of encouraging diversity, ensuring that we live and work in diverse societies. I'm very, very honored to present this award to Goldman Sachs, and even more so to present it to my friend Oliver.
LGBT National Summit in Hong Kong, Tokyo, and Singapore, host the annual fundraising night for local LGBT organizations. The company celebrates Pride Month across Asia every November.
Maybe I'm loud, okay. It's probably not the best way to do presentation, by the way. I just flew in from Hong Kong, arrived, to the hotel, changed, and dash here. So hopefully I won't disappoint you. First of all, thank you for Elements and also the judges to choose Goldman Sachs as one of the awards winners. Alongside all the great winners tonight, I think you are all amazing. So I'm very proud of you. Second of all, a bit of Goldman Sachs. Goldman has long had a history of embracing diversity in our culture. starting from our CEO, Lloyd Blankfein, who publicly support LGBT and gay marriage in the States. Back to the region. I remember we first started the LGBT employee network since 2006 in Hong Kong and Tokyo. We had literally 5 people in the group. And now with 8 years of struggle or hard work, we first expand the number of membership in the network to almost 10% of all employee population. So let me translate to you. 10% means every 10 people that you go in the firm around you, maybe one of them, they are either LGBT or straight supporters, is tremendous for the organization. Secondly, we expand geographically. We started in Hong Kong and Tokyo. We expanded aggressively throughout the region. In 8 years' time, we expand our network to places like China. That's why we have friends here today. Places like Taiwan, Korea, India, and last but not least, Singapore. So this is a place that we started off with a chapter of the network, the region, in 2008, 2009, and we now aggressively or proactively do a lot of work in the firm to include to improve LGBT inclusion and also support the community like Pink Doors, working with Kuka Chaga. We're going to have an event soon with Kuka Chaga, and a number of other things. So that's what we do in the region. Now, let me share with you a few things before I turn it back to Nancy. One is a few news, one good and one bad. I think the good news is, with me working in the network and being an openly gay person in Goldman, what I found is, in a corporate like us, and I'm sure with Spartan as well, we don't have any employees actively or explicitly discriminated or bullied in the organization, which is good news. So people who are friends get them to join us, good news. Okay. However, the bad news is, or not so good news is, there are a lot of work we need to do. It's not about actively bullying people, but it's about some subtle things that could make LGBT population not able to come out. To give you some examples. 2 years ago, before I came out to the firm, I got a bunch of flowers from my boyfriend and my birthday, on my birthday. Very, very nice. So I'm impressed. I was impressed. My manager came to my desk and she said, "Oh, Paul, great. Wow, she was brave." I said, "Okay, she was brave." So the assumption made actually put me into the closet for a few years before I come out again. So I came out to the firm, I talked to people in the firm. There are some really good people around us, like all our friends. They talk to us, and they're interested to know what we're doing. One conversation that I had, I have to say in many places, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, etc. So recently I went to talk to someone in Japan. He asked me, "Paul, tell me more about your sexual preference." I said, And I keep talking about my experience. And then in 5 times he repeated the word sexual preference, I stopped him. I said, "So and so, no offense, I don't choose to be gay. If I have a choice, maybe I may not choose at a tough time in my youth to be a gay person, but I may too, by now. But it's who I am, it's my sexual orientation. I don't choose to be gay." So the messages we need to give people a little bit louder and clearer. Lastly, I recently engaged. I'm going to get married, but in Asia I still couldn't find a place to get married. So Taiwan, where's Taiwan? So please. What more we can do together. Now, lastly, 2 hopes, which I want all of us to commit tonight. Now we withstand this hot weather and with all the time that we spent, two things I want each of you to do, if I can. First is I think we need a bit more positive in the media. Long gone the days that we are all the crowd, that we are hiding ourselves, licking our wounds in the dark corners. But we can come out proud and show people the inspiring role models for people around us, both straight allies and LGBT population. If we can all do that and suggest media, mainstream media, to have a lot more positive anchors, roles, etc. for us, and more positive messages for our younger generation, I think that would be awesome. So we can all work towards that, that would be great. Secondly, it's personal. There are lots of energy in the room, I realize that. I hope that I'm the lowest energy person now. I hope all of you, if you can commit to do just one thing in the next 3 months to help this, or to help LGBT inclusion. Either you have a friend around you to come out successfully to the family, or you work for an organization, work with other people in another organization to create a lot more momentum in this region, in this country, that will be really useful to move our agenda for inclusion. So I hope that this award is only a starting point. It's my two dreams about mainstreaming our conversation and helping each other out as collaboration. So once again, thank you again for Alice and
We're going to go ahead and call our next two presenters. Mr. Kevin Burns from Community Business, Mr. Jun Tubiyaga, founder of Indignation.
Good evening, LGBT, fellow LGBT and allies. My name is Jun Tubiyaga. I'm a gay activist from Singapore.
Kevin Burns from Community Business in Hong Kong.
And we would like to thank Euro and Atlas Magazine for inviting us to present an award this evening. And I'm representing Indignation, Singapore's Pride season, which is a platform for people who identify with diverse forms of sexual orientation and gender identity and expression to express themselves in the form of the arts or activism and so on. Now, for our organization, we believe in what I call connecting people, right? Connecting people together, bringing people together. And what is important in bringing people together is to gain their trust and respect.
Now let me just slightly add to that just a little bit. I've been with community business for about 5 years now. My role has been to work with companies on corporate social responsibility, specifically helping companies create an inclusive workplace for LGBT employees. Doing it for 5 years. I'm based in Hong Kong, but I work around the region in India, in mainland China, in Japan, and a bit in Singapore. I know how hard it is for companies. I know how hard it is to create a need when it seems to some extent that there is not one. When the people you're trying to serve many times are invisible. So it's hard to convince those in your organization that say, show me the LGBT employees. I understand how challenging that can be. Of course, a community business is an organization that can help you along with that. But with that, I would just like to say, again, congratulations to all the nominated companies. And we'd like to go ahead and award this company, JP Morgan.
Yes, this particular company is being the world's most trusted and respected financial institution. So let's present the award to JP Morgan by Mrs. Gary Thompson.
So I just want to thank Alabama Magazine for presenting the award to JP Morgan. I just want to let it be short. JP Morgan is all about being inclusive. So me being a gay employee, I'm not discriminated in the firm, so which has helped me a lot in my career. So I just want to thank Alabama Magazine for presenting this to JP Morgan.